My name is Raven Williams, and my presentation will focus on the bone tissue and its relationship to the skeletal system. The skeletal system is an important function in the body that work in conjunction with the muscular system to produce movements such as jumping, running, walking, and mow. Inside of the skeletal system, the body produces bone tissue. These bone tissues provide structures to other body tissues, allows movement by way of other attached muscles, protects internal organs, and provides blood cells. Inside of the microscopic structure of bone tissue, we see rings or osteon. Osteon is the functional unit of bone. Each osteon has a hollow center called a Haversian canal or central canal. The central canal is where oxygen enters the bone and carbon dioxide exits out. The lamellae are the rings that surround the central canal. The dark spaces on the lamellae are the lacuna or lacunae. The structures that appear to look like tentacles on the lacuna or lacunae are the canaliculi. The canaliculi allows nutrients to reach bone cells and removes metabolic waste. There are two types of bone tissue. The first bone tissue is the compact bone, which is also known as the cortical bone. It is a strong and dense tissue. Compact tissues form from the outside of a bone and along the shaft of long bones like the femur and tibia. This type of bone supports the structure of human muscles, meaning it has a hard and rigid frame that muscles use to attach to. When calcium is released into our skeletal system, the vitamin is utilized to form new bone and repair damaged bone. Also, compact bone provides protection for our internal organs. The second type of bone tissue is the spongy bone, which is also known as the cancellous bone. Spongy bone is found at the ends of long bones, pelvic bones, ribs, vertebrae, shoulder blades, femur, and skull. This area of tissue is less dense and has more flexible tissue. It contains trabeculae, which is thin rods and plates of bone tissues. They help bones resist stress or strain. Osteocytes is the remodeling process of your bone. It lives inside bone tissue and can produce new bone or destroy old bone in response to body loading, like carrying extra weight. Osteoclasts utilize an enzyme to break down or destroy old or damaged bone tissue so that osteoblasts will come and repair the damaged bone tissue to produce new bone tissue. Exercise helps stimulate bone strength because of bone remodeling, constantly breaking down and repairing new bones. Bone marrow is found inside the bone. It is responsible for making new cells. There's red bone marrow and there's yellow bone marrow. The red bone marrow makes red blood cells. This is important for transporting oxygen throughout the body. Also, the red marrow produces platelets, which help with clotting. Additionally, red bone marrow produces white blood cells, which help fight off bacteria and viruses. The red bone marrow is the only marrow that is found in children. The yellow bone marrow stores energy as fat, and it is found in adults. Bone growth begins at birth. Growth hormones from the pituitary gland and other hormones causes bones to grow. The bone grows at the epithelial plate, which is a layer of cartilage in a growing bone. When the bones stop growing, the cartilage is replaced by osseous tissue. The epithelial plate becomes an epithelial line. This entire process is called ossification, by which cartilage turns to bone. Damage to the growth plates may cause the bones to form improperly. Osteoporosis is a disease in which the bones are more prone to fractures in such a way that the creation of new bone cannot keep up with the loss of old bone. It is commonly seen in females. There is a reduction in the thickness of compact bone, size, and number of trabeculae. Paget's is a bone remodeling disease. This happens when there is an overactive osteoclast. The symptoms of Paget's disease include pain, fractures, and bone deformities. The areas that is commonly affected are the skull, pelvic bone, spine, and legs. Osteoporosis and Paget's are different diseases. Osteoporosis causes brittle bone, however, bones are enlarged and weak in Paget's disease. Keeping bones healthy through diet and exercise is essential. Resistance training, walking, and jogging is important to slow down bone loss due to aging and to prevent osteoporosis. Movements that work on balance can help reduce the risk of falling, resulting in injuries. We are more prone to falling as we age, so a diet high in calcium and vitamin D helps bone growth and slows down bone loss. It's important to consume a well-balanced meal that is high in calcium like milk, cheese, leafy greens like kale and spinach and tofu. Also, vitamin D is critical for bone growth. Consume foods like milk, eggs, cheese, and fish. Always consult a healthcare professional regarding calcium or vitamin D supplements.